it's still like really important for me that we're facing Misfit and also Power, since he's like an old colleague.
So I remember that I stole the Baron. I think it was the 5th game, we were really far behind.
Sends into the river, Baron will be secured. No, it's stolen! It is stolen! Power of Evil has kept Unicorns in the semi-finals!
I want to show that I'm the better mid laner compared to Power of Evil.
I think he has games where he's playing really good.
First blood! This is like really extra motivation for me.
But then he has games where his team's actually winning, but he's just dying and dying.
First is gonna run it in for a kill on
He's playing really bad.
On top of him, it's first blood.
Notes it would be really nice to knock out the last German before we go to Hamburg.
Our old German versus our new upgrade Exile. It's going to be fun, for sure.
Welcome to the final battle on the road to the EU LCS Championships in Hamburg. Misfits and the Unicorns of Love have been two of the strongest teams so far this split, and now they face off in the fight for the last spot in the final and to go up against G2. Earlier we saw Power of Evil walking onto the stage, their coach Hussein Daku as well as Cacao, always smiling, always excited to make the plays on the Rift. And there, that other German mid laner, the upgrade, yes or no, Exile for the Unicorns of Love taking to the stage, and the rookie of the split, Xerxes, holding down the jungle, as well as Vizichachi getting ready. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm EpicSkillshot supporter, and joining me at the analyst desk are James Stress O'Leary, Slices Trashy, and Fnatic's Caps, fresh off his semi-final bout yesterday. Caps, well, both of you very much thank you for joining us. How are you feeling? How are you looking back on the series now after nights of sleep?
So yesterday I was really disappointed. I'm still a bit disappointed. But I think it was, I mean, we were the underdogs, and coming into like the middle of the split, we were not expecting to go into playoffs. No, we were hoping that we would enter into playoffs, but it was like close call, and we didn't expect to beat H2K neither. So even taking a game from G2 was good for us, and I think we could maybe have gone a bit better, but it is what it is. Yeah.
You know, as you mentioned, taking a game off G2 is good in that first semi-final, because G2 ended up winning the best of 5 against you guys, Fnatic, and are now in a position to take their 3rd European title in a row. And the reason why that is already, well, a good start for Fnatic is that G2 is still a very strong powerhouse here in EU.
Absolutely. And, you know, Caps, I think you're still selling yourself a little bit short on this. Fnatic coming out really strong in game number 1. Excited to see where you can go now in the 3rd place game, because there was some crisp snowballing, good macro. Trashy, we were talking a little bit earlier in the day. Game 2, you also thought could have gone Fnatic's way?
Yeah, I mean, Fnatic had a lead in the 2nd game, and I think if they executed a little bit better in the mid game, they could have, the series could have been 2-0 for Fnatic, and then maybe the series would be completely different. So honestly, a lot of props to Fnatic for playing this well.
Definitely, we still will see them in Hamburg in that 3rd place match, but after G2's win yesterday, there's only one more seat left to fill in the final, and that will go between the Unicorns of Love and Misfit, as it will be played out there. And the loser of that matchup will go up against Fnatic in that 3rd place match. Now, Misfits versus the Unicorns of Love, we're going to start by dialing in on Misfits, because they are one of the newest teams in the European LCS, and they came up big in their first split, going all the way to the semi-finals. For now, beating Splice in that reverse sweep, but stepping aside from that series, maybe Trashy, how do you look back on Misfits and their first split and what they've achieved?
I mean, we have to remember that it's their first split, and I mean, getting this far in their first split must be really great feeling for them. They have a lot of rookies, and just playing in these high pressure games and being able to go to Hamburg to play as well is just a really good step for them, I think. So they should be happy.
A lot of rookies, but on the other side of the rift from them today, on the Unicorns, maybe is the rookie of the split, that is Xerxes. Fantastic performance along with the rest of the Unicorns, who have just been looking so good, so on form this split.
Is this the best split of the Unicorns since maybe 2015, or their inaugural split, so to say?
I think so. I mean, even though the Unicorns, you know, they've been playoff mainstays, I absolutely think this is the best we've seen them in quite some time. So for me, this Unicorn squad is very strong. The team to beat in playoffs, I actually think. I think the Unicorns have been looking better in recent weeks, even than G2.
Definitely so. And one of the most interesting matchups today is in the mid lane. So let's turn to Verius for more on the all-German clash.
Thank you very much, Sharks. Yes, I want to delve a little deeper into this mid lane matchup where we have the old guard versus the new. When Power of Evil joined the LCS with the Unicorns of Love, he introduced some niche picks and off-meta builds like Devour Kale and Smite Orianna. Over the last 2 years, he's become a more consistent, more meta mid laner, refining his champ pool and demonstrating his might against the best in Europe. Exile, on the other hand, came into the LCS a no-name Yasuo one-trick with a tendency to die alone. However, he grew into his own and drew attention with plays like the one you see here. Gone are the days of Exile getting caught out and dying alone. As we see from his high jungle proximity, he and Xerxes focus on getting him ahead in lane, which sets him up for teamfights later on in the game. Looking back at his series versus HDK early in the split, we see a situation where a team comp is built around Exile to give him the freedom to make plays like this. Fantastic positioning combined with good decision making have turned this one trick into one of Europe's best. While Exile plays the lane, Power of Evil plays the map. When he's on a champion that allows him to push and roam with his jungler, he creates opportunities for Misfits across the rift, which they are quick to capitalize on. But perhaps Misfits are too reliant on this strategy. Let's take a look at the jungle proximity between Power and Kakao during their 5-game series versus Splice. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to see the trend. Look at the discrepancy between the first 2 and last 3 games. When PoE can't move with Kakao and create these early advantages, the team often struggle to find a solid grasp on the game. And that's why this matchup is so important. There are 2 contrasting styles, and today we'll find out who comes out on top. Will it be the early game presence of Power of Evil or the dominant team fighting of Exile? Guys, I'll leave it up to you.
Well, thank you, Verius, and I'm immediately going to pass that question on to Caps. Tell me, what are the strengths and weaknesses of Power of Evil versus Exile?
So Exile is a player who likes to play really aggressive, kind of like me actually, but a lot of time he's bluffing when he's going for the all-ins. He does things that he shouldn't be able to do, but just because he seems so comfortable on it and because he plays so aggressive, the opponent might be caught off guard, and therefore they might not go for the punish and instead just let him do it, and therefore he takes advantages which he shouldn't be able to take.
Mm-hmm. And a lot will come down to the mid-jungle's synergy as always,
yeah,
Trashy?
For sure. One of the things you want to do against Exile, especially if he's playing this over-aggressive style, is to call in for the jungler or even the support to put pressure on him so he can't play his style. And if Misfits can do that, then they can kind of free up Power of Evil to when he can make these roam plays that he likes to do with the jungler. So the mid lane will be the most crucial part of the game, in my opinion.
And I think a lot of that also will get determined in the draft, whether it's the Lee Sin from Kakao, the Syndra, or the LeBlanc coming from mid lane. There are so many of these key picks that can set up that synergy very well for both sides of the rift.
Yeah, definitely. What do you think of the rookie of the split, the Xerxes, in his inaugural split?
I mean, some of the strengths Xerxes has is his consistency, and you don't actually see that very often from a rookie. So you have to praise him a lot. He has been consistently good in almost every game he plays, and I'm excited to see how he plays here in the playoffs. Like we don't know exactly how he's gonna play in these high-stake games. So a lot of eyes on him for sure.
Definitely on the mid lane and on the jungle. But now I want to know who is going to the final, gentlemen.
Ooh, it's that all-important time. Well, I brought a visual aid for this one for my prediction for this match. I brought a very fetching Easter-style aid that hopefully you'll get to see in a second. We're just watching the unicorn, so we'll come back to that.
Caps, you can give your predictions first.
I think it's going to be a bit like it depends on the mid matchup, right? As we said in the jungle matchup, but I think it's going to be a one-sided series from Unicorn side. Probably going to be a 3-0. But again, it just depends on the picks they've been practicing this week and how the draft will go. But I'm pretty sure that it's going to be a 3-0 for UL.
3-0 for UL?
I mean, I'm all in on the silver scrapes today. I'm hoping for 5 games.
Yes.
I want to see a lot of team fight action. That's what we love to see from the UL, the good old team fights. So let's see what happens. I'm just excited to see the game.
Come on, call it. Misfits or UL?
UL.
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 Right.
Well, it's time for the Easter basket. the Unicorns Easter basket. I have 3 eggs, very Easter style. I'm going to put them all in the Unicorns basket. 3-0 Unicorns.
Liking it, liking it. Yeah. Loving it. Well, and happy Easter to everyone who celebrates it today as well. And I hope we get to eat that chocolate later.
I can't promise
that's
I'll be here by the time we're at the end of game 1.
All right, cool. Well, a lot of votes for the Unicorns of Love here, a lot of trust in those Love Unicorns, and we'll see what happens. A spot in the final is on the line for Misfits and UOL. We're going to send it over